Crimson Nernroot. You know, that is an exceedingly rare plant. They only grow down here, and not in abundance. It certainly makes one wonder, why only in Blackreach? Actually being here, tasting the air, sensing the smells, seeing things with my own eyes. It makes me think of something I discussed with an old friend of mine. We were discussing how some plants and fungi seem capable of surviving in locations extremely hostile to them. Notice the lack of sunlight down here. Obvious, I know. What about water? Yes, we can find some sources of water down here, but Crimson Nernroot, unlike regular Nernroot, doesn't seem to be dependent on it. It makes me wonder, where is the Crimson Nernroot getting the energy and water that it needs to survive? Based on my discussions with this individual, I figure that the Nernroot here is siphoning water and energy from the very large and clearly flourishing fungi down here. This requires much more in-depth research. I'll be studying the fungi and flora intently while we're here. Let me know if you think you have something of use to me. Based on my discussions with Serene, I figure that the Nernroot here is siphoning water and energy from the very large and clearly flourishing fungi down here.
Ruby is alright, I trust?
Ah, Sinderion, He's a bit before my time. I suppose he is an alchemist of note. His main obsession was Nernroot. He did make quite a few strides in our understanding of the plant, as I recall. Let's see here. Avrusa Sarethi, Ruined Lexicon. Ah, here. My initial research seemed to indicate that the Crimson Nernroot has a similar affinity for moisture as the garden variety, but also maintains some sort of symbiotic relationship with the enormous fungi that inhabits Blackreach. It's my guess that the fungi itself is a source of water, absorbing it from the moist subterranean air like a sponge. This provides the ideal environment for the Nernroot to grow. Well, seems Sinderion concurs with my theory as well. Thank you. While this doesn't do much more than confirm a hunch, I think it's reasonable to move forward. Yes, I'll need to gather some samples of the fungi here in Blackreach. I realize that spending time picking mushrooms may not be your primary objective while we are down here. If you'd like, I could go off and gather the samples on my own, and once I've gathered a sufficient amount, I come find you. I shouldn't have too much trouble finding you when I'm done. I may even use the propellant to shorten the walking distance a bit. Guess who's back from their little excursion? I believe this should be plenty. I would say so. Each sample seems to have something different about it. Good question. I have a few options. I could study the mushroom samples we've collected much closer, see if they yield any information. I could try to cultivate some of my own fungi using the samples. I could also just jump straight into attempting to create what I imagine is the process that turns Nernroot into Crimson Nernroot. You see, I believe that Crimson Nernroot isn't simply some variation of Nernroot. I believe that it is Nernroot. There must be some sort of chemical process happening when the Nernroot is siphoning water and energy from the mushroom. This process turns the Nernroot red in color and makes its alchemical properties much more potent. It is, if I am correct. I think I will try to create a concentrate using one of the mushroom samples. I'll let some nernroot absorb it and we'll see what happens. Sure, I wouldn't mind having someone watching my back while we're down here. Interesting. Despite being so close to water, this mushroom is quite porous. That suggests it's gathering water through the air despite not needing to. I believe this should be plenty. Thank you. Nice work. Some beautiful cuts on these. Good question. I have a few options. I could study the mushroom samples we've collected much closer, see if they yield any information. I could try to cultivate some of my own fungi using the samples. I could also just jump straight into attempting to create what I imagine is the process that turns nernroot into crimson nernroot. You see, I believe that crimson nernroot isn't simply some variation of nernroot. I believe that it is nernroot. There must be some sort of chemical process happening when the nernroot is siphoning water and energy from the mushroom. This process turns the nernroot red in color and makes its alchemical properties much more potent. Sure, I'll let you know of any developments. I think I will try to create a concentrate using one of the mushroom samples. I'll let some nernroot absorb it and we'll see what happens. Badly. The nernroot completely refuses to absorb any of the mushroom concentrate. I've tried injecting it directly into the plant, but it just ejects it almost immediately. Combining the mushroom and the nernroot for a potion results in little other than sludge. And that damn ringing! It's like the plant itself is mocking me. Oh well, good for you. Being sorry does little to help me. The damn thing. Sorry. That was very rude of me. Yes, I'm sure you, the amateur alchemist, would have some great pointers for me. The damn thing. Sorry. That was very rude of me. It's just really starting to get on my nerves. My fungi cultures haven't even begun properly growing yet. Still need to wait on that front. I suppose I need to study the samples more, along with any crimson nernroot I have. Oh, believe me, luck will play no part in it. I will keep you updated. Oh sure, Master Alchemist. As if you would know a fraction of my alchemical knowledge. The damn thing. Sorry. That was very rude of me. Hi. Ah, yes, I was supposed to keep you informed, wasn't I? Well, after some closer inspection of my samples in Crimson Nernroot, I've had a bit of a revelation. I think that the process that turns Nernroot into Crimson Nernroot isn't one that can be replicated through alchemy exactly. I am starting to think that the fungi and the Nernroot are communicating with each other. There's perhaps some sort of symbiotic relationship happening. Now, I grant you that is exactly the words of Sinderion himself, and I also grant you that I viewed the Nernroot-fungi relationship as a parasitic one, which may have clouded my judgment slightly. Perhaps the Nernroot is giving the mushroom something in return. Perhaps it is key to the growth of the mushroom itself, directly or indirectly. Well, for one, the nernroot could directly be causing the fungus to grow. Perhaps it is giving the mushroom something akin to a growth hormone. On the other, the nernroot could simply be improving the mushroom's situation. The reason it grows so large is due to it prospering together with the nernroot, rather than the nernroot influencing it directly. Anyways, my fungi cultures are starting to take shape. I think now is an excellent time to perhaps introduce some nernroot to the cultures, see what kind of impact it has. How about you lend me a hand? Gather some nernroot for me. Let's do 10 for the first batch. Ah, enthusiasm. Good. It would be most helpful. Let me know when you have the lot. Well, I think we can confidently say that I've had a breakthrough. Yes, I suppose you could say so. How's this for results? Indeed it is. This is the first instance in history of anyone managing such a feat. It didn't take too long for the fungi and nernroot to cooperate. Already after the first hour I could notice signs of red permeating the nernroot. After about 6 hours' time I deemed the nernroot to be properly transformed into crimson nernroot. Incredible speed. While a delicate operation, I was able to remove the nernroot from the mushroom without damaging either party. The mushroom doesn't look worse for wear, though I imagine it'd be more than willing to pair up with any new nernroot that is introduced. I've yet to see serious growth of the stem and pileus, though that is preferable. It'd hardly be practical to carry a giant mushroom around. I'm going to maintain my crimson nernroot farm for my own benefit. Having easy access to crimson nernroot is both beneficial to my alchemical pursuits and allows for a reliable income stream. Don't worry though, I would be able to accommodate you, should you be in need for some crimson nernroot yourself. I figure I can spare enough space for about 10 nernroot. Just provide me with the necessary nernroot and allow the appropriate time for the nernroot to be transformed. You're most welcome. Oh, and I suppose that I need to remind you that this particular discovery stays between us,